Thank you.
Jim,
Hello, sir.
how you doing, sir?
Blessed and highly favored.
All righty.
All right. As soon as this kicks on, I'll go ahead and go.
Listen at all that snow up there, I done got cold.
Now we don't have anything. We got the sun out. I don't know if you can see over my shoulders. It's pushing pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, sun where I'm at too. All sun. So no
All
talking up
righty.
no more snowstorms.
Really.
All right. YouTube is up. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay. So first and foremost, I don't know for most of you, some of you may have gotten it, but most of you should if you got the WireX account, but never, we were going through trying to figure out what they were going to do. They just launched um, WPay, WireX Pay, which is basically a form of internet pay. We were talking about the debit cards. Well, that's what they're bringing. So I knew it was coming. I don't know if you guys remember me saying, just give them time to get it launched. Well, they've launched it. So WireX, you're going to have to log back in if you have your original WireX account. I haven't done it yet. Been a little tied up, but plan to do it today and go ahead and get that process done. It's going to require proof of address, some documents that you need to put up to show, and then you'll get what's known as a virtual card, like I was showing you, which they have in their back office under the cards. But this card um, is black, from what I can tell. So it's a different card completely, and it has W Pay on it, not WireX. Okay, it's their new stuff that they brought out. Let's see if I can bring up the email that they sent me. Give me a second. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the other cards and my links and all that good stuff today. So, over the past couple of days, has been me trying to find some more income, um, jobs or whatever. So, I really hadn't had a whole lot of time. I spoke with a couple of people that have already done all the paperwork for WireX or WPay. So I haven't, and I plan on getting that done this weekend. So more options are coming up. Um, the one thing that I want to touch on real quick is the news that's coming out is all over the place. And like I said in the very beginning, there's going to be some challenges because of who's moving into BRICS, who's moving out of US dollar, what's going on, who's doing what. But I don't want to turn this into a news channel because that's not what we're doing. We're learning how to use crypto. Now, because of the big moves that were made over the past day and a half, some things are being realized. And there's already a push to move towards digital. You already know about CBDCs, or did I say that right? Yeah, CBDCs, central bank digital currency. They are pushing extremely hard for that, but we're not going to accept it. We're not going to take it, um, because of what it is, who controls it, and what they plan to do with it. We have to stay vigilant on understanding the options. And like I said, the options are the four that we talked about last week. which are well known. Now WireX is back on board. Let me bring my paperwork up. 1 second. What to do with it? And if you notice, I'm going through what? My notebook. Oh, I wrote it on this sheet. The one I took out. I plan on talking about it today. All right, so the 4 was BitPay, Block, BlockFi, Coinbase, Cryto. WireX was over on the international side, and Nexo is on the international side. So, you know, those two weren't really available to us, except for people like Margaret and those who are outside of the US. Hold on, I have to sign back in. One second. Okay. Got it. All right, so again, we have to have options made available. So in order to be able to move these currencies and what have you, we want to make sure that we are using ones that work for everybody. And if not everybody, those who can use them should. Now, I want to have more options than just 1 or 2 wallets to move, but those 4 have debit cards. So we want to, if you can use it, if you can get it, great. If not, you know, that's the 4 that I could find that makes sense. Again, the links will be made available. The more you guys sign up with those things, that it helps me on this end. There's another one that I have to reinvestigate what's going on with it, but it does $75 for each of us when you sign up under the link. It's some of you already know about it, some of you don't, but I plan on using that because that will definitely help me out. All right, so it's just a simple sign up process. You put in 50, you get 75 back once you share it with someone. So the more people to share it, great. The more we all make. So until I get one of these 2 options locked down, I have to turn in 2 applications until we get launched to move forward. So that's where I'm at. That's what's going on with me. I wanted to make sure that you know that before we get into it. So let's get into it. These 4 cards are going to give you the option to move your funds and go shop. So that to me is the most important part, because from 5 to 12 is all crypto, and you're going to need to go and do stuff with it. Shop, like I said, you can shop right there on the site with it, or you can pull it down onto one of these cards or a card that you are familiar with that has a debit card to it. Like I said, now WireX is going to be pulled over with those 4, back over with the 4 that everyone's going to use, because it's around the world. It's everybody can use the WPay. There's also a couple of different Solana options that I'm still reading. There's a bunch of cards that can be used with Solana or uses Solana's platform. And one of them is Solana Pay. So it requires having other cryptos on the card in order to use it. So that's what I'm digging out to make sure when I explain it, you're able to, catch up and be able to work with it. So we should have between 5 and 7 different options as it is concerned with a wallet that we can shop with. Okay, that eliminates the use or the need of other institutions that control what and how we do. With your own institution, you can make those decisions when you feel like it. Okay, you can go in there and go get what you need. You can add to it. You don't have to ask permission to put stuff in it and take stuff out. I'm using generic words because I was told that the more I use a certain word on that platform that we're recording on, I could possibly get flagged for whatever. They're trying to wrap down and keep everybody unable to speak freely. Your First Amendment is being attacked totally, and they're being extremely upfront with it and out in the open. They're literally trying to, not trying, they are violating several of our given rights. So we have to be very careful what we say on there. And I also have to make sure that I'm not giving financial advice not being licensed. And I'm recording these things on purpose so that it is on recording that I said that. Because we're now on a different platform. It's not just over here on our YouTube channel where we're kind of away from the big eyes. Okay. When I made this decision to record on YouTube, I knew that things were going to start changing as far as what I say and as much as when I say it. Okay, so we have to be very careful. And if you notice that I'm doing that, that's why. Okay, it's not that I need YouTube for anything. I'm not doing anything over there other than making this information available for those who are working or not able to attend. That's the only reason why I'm there. Okay, so just so you know. These 5 cards are going to give you the freedom to do what you need to do at any given time. That's why I want you to have so many of them. It's not to confuse you completely, but to immerse you into all the aspects of what's coming. I'll say that again. The reason why I want you to have so many different wallets that have debit cards and may require you to have other currencies on it in order to use it is to get you knee deep in how cryptocurrency works, how the devices themselves work, how you will utilize these devices. And I'm talking about the, I'm just pulling up WireX card because that's the only one I have in front of me. You'll be using those devices to go shopping with, to pay bills with. So you need to know how they work. And the more we talk about this and the more options we have, the better prepared you will be for what's coming. What's coming? Digital. Remember the whole thing about me talking about the evolution of money. We've seen it change, what, maybe 50 different ways? 3 to be basic: trade, basically walk into a field and trade what you got, grew, made, built, whatever, for something someone else made, built, grew, or created. It was just a simple, I'll trade you this for that. And commerce was completed. Then it went from that to basically using pieces of metal, silver and gold. That's why it will always be money. It will always be money. They got everybody saying that this other stuff is money when it's not even that. Then you went from the paper to, or the metals to the paper. And that's when they took control. That's when they destroyed your ideal of understanding of money. Excuse me. Been talking a lot this morning. So basically, the evolution over to the paper is when we lost control and understanding of commerce. It was taken over by someone else, and you were basically hoodwinked into thinking that the new stuff that you had in your hand was actual money. At one time, it went from the metals, okay, when it was silver and gold, it went to a certificate, a piece of paper, or I'll just hold this up, a certificate that said that you had $50 worth of silver or $50 worth of gold. That's called a silver certificate or a gold certificate. They didn't last long because even with having that certificate, you could walk into the bank and say, look, I'm putting down my $50 certificate. I need $50 worth of gold. And they had to give it to you because that's just the paper version of the actual metal that was supposed to be in the bank. And at one time it was, until a certain president gave it all away. And when that happened, we went into what's known as fractional banking, where it's just a fraction of what you actually have. See, it's the terminology that got us twisted. It's the terminology that we didn't understand, that they were saying that you only have a fraction of what you say you have. So the banks, when they gave away all of the metals, then these certificates became worthless because there was no metals to give you in replace of it or the redemption of it. See, these words, follow the words, redemption. You are redeeming your certificate for $50 worth of gold, the precious metal itself. When you went into fractional banking, you went into, where's my old, here it is. I'm keeping this for our little fake money. You went into the currency, or the, not, wrong word, you went into the fiat paper, okay? So when you went into the fiat paper, that's when you really got smacked upside the head and said, guess what? You can't see and you can't hear. There's a very known trio to that. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Well, those things mean something. When they took away the metals and put you into a piece of paper called fiat, under a system that's a fraction of what you have, see how those two work together? Fractional banking is a fraction, just a fraction of what you have. So this is supposed to be $1. You only have a fraction of $1. Is it making sense now? So when you got this piece of paper, you were told that it's a $20 bill. So you go to the store and put these things up and say, I have $20, I want to buy a hat. It's $20. Well, do you really have $20 if it's fraction of 20? What's a fraction of $20? Whatever it's worth. What is it worth? 0. So how do you have a fraction of 0? You don't. It's called a debt instrument. So a debt instrument is a piece of paper with a number on it that says you have this, but you actually only have a fraction of nothing. What the living? Now you see why we're so messed up. How do you have a fraction of nothing? Now, let's move forward. So the evolution, these are evolutions of money. So the evolution from this garbage, this complete disgrace that has gone all around the world saying that this is the most You have to use this, a fraction of nothing, to sell me something that I can sell to someone else for more fractions of nothing. So when you go to the gas pump and you stick the nozzle in the thing and you go in the bank and you say, well, go in the store and say, I want to put $20 on pump 2. And the person behind the counter goes, deet, 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 deet. Okay, here, you hand them the paper. I'm going somewhere with this. Watch how this comes around. So you give them the $20 piece of paper. Here. Go out to the car, hit the pump, and it pumps. Okay, you see the numbers going across the thing, right? When it's all said and done, you take the nozzle out of the car, you just stole 3 gallons of gas. And you did it with counterfeit money. Now, here's the funny part, though. The part that really trips me out, and I get a kick out of it every time I see it happen. You go to the store and you put a fresh, brand new $20 bill up there. What do? What you looking for? Or they take the little marker and wait for it to change colors. Why you gotta do that? What are you looking for? Because what this represents is a fraction of nothing. So holding it up to the light or taking a certain marker and writing all over it is not going to change the fact that it is a fraction of nothing. Now you understand. So all the stuff that you have seen happen over the course of your life, literally, and over the past year or 3, since 2000, whatever, you can't put this, I'm not putting anything on any, I'm definitely not going to talk political on here, but ever since we can remember, when they switched over to this, you have been stealing things from stores. You have been doing business underhandedly, and they have allowed it. (1973), thank you, Val. You have been using this as a representation of nothing. Now, fast forward to 2024. Now we have these things. You have these things. And you have a system for the use of these 2 things. And you have the originators of the fraud that has happened to all of us that don't want you to have it. Why is that? Because when you move over here into this arena, you're moving into the evolution of money, which this can finally be done what with? Go to the bathroom, because that's all it's worth. They don't want that. They want you to stay under that. So they can do what? Control what you do, when you do, where you do it. Remember what I was talking about? Let me make sure I'm not showing numbers. With one of these, with this company, they control what you do with your finances. When you can get it, how much of it you can get. They put a certain number over your head and say, this is what you're worth: 760, 520, 380. Credit score. To what? What's the credit on? A fraction of nothing? So where did they get this number from? There is no number. It's a classification to say either you are elite or not, or semi-elite. That single number, well, that 3-digit number, determines where you live, how you live, and what you live. Now, fast forward to 2024, you have the option to use something called cryptocurrency. You have the option to use, now watch this, silver or gold. Where did that come from? What's silver and gold? The original money. So now they have done what? Full circle, all the way back with an addition. You have an object or a resource or a source that they cannot control. They want you to use this source, where they can tell you when, how, where, and what you can do with it, and use it without your knowledge. Make money with it and not share it with you. That's what they've been doing all along. So the big hoopla, the big I don't want to do it, came up when they said, all right, well, you know what? We're going to have to make this fair trade. That's what the original word was when they started trading. A fair trade. Does anybody remember that statement? What is fair trade? If I give you a duck, the duck is worth more because the eggs are bigger. You only have to use one egg for breakfast. You have to give me 2 chickens for 1 duck. And then that's a fair trade. If you go up and you have a duck and you say, all right, I have a duck, I want 2 chickens. And you say, no, I'll give you 1 chicken and 6 eggs. To give you, you give the duck a chance to start making some eggs. Is that a fair trade? No. Absolutely not. That's fraction. That is a fraction of a chicken. Those 6 eggs is a fraction of a chicken that used to be there. Now you see how it works? And if you take that deal, you have taken an unfair trade. That's what we're in right now. That's why there's this thing called interest and what's the word I'm looking for? The economy is all jacked up because of it. Basically, you're in an unfair trade. It'll come to me in a minute. So all of us are in this situation. There is no because you're a certain color, because you live in this city and you don't live over here. It's all the same. We put these tags in between. Because I'm a woman, because I'm this color, because I'm this. Inflation, thank you. Now, inflation, let's talk about that real quick. Who sets inflation? Where does inflation come from? Inflation comes from unfair trade, fractional banking, buying things with illegal money. The commodity that you buy, let's say that this pen is a commodity that has labor on it. Somebody had to make the plastic. Somebody had to design the pen. There's rubber on the end, so that's another company that had to make this. The little spring inside, that's wire. Somebody had to create that wire and turn it into a spring. That's more basic labor. Now we're only talking about a pen. Okay? So 5 different companies went into making this one pen. All 5 companies were paid with this. But they created a physical, real commodity. Okay? And then we buy this commodity with the same stuff that they got to make it. Who owns the pen? I'm going to show you how crazy this is. The pen owes itself because nobody really bought it. The people that created it were paid to make these items with this stuff. The raw materials that went into making this were bought with this stuff. When it was all put together in a finished product, these people sold it to a new company that's going to now put them on the shelf. They were paid with this paper, a fraction of nothing. When it gets to the store, you go in the store, you know what, the desk is empty. I need some pens. Let me go over here, roll my little cart over here, grab them off the shelf, go to the register, and I beep, put them up there, and I paid with this. You walk out of the store with it, now you're at the house with it. Who owns this pen if no one really bought it? The pen owns itself. Now, how crazy is that? Now, I want you to apply what I just went through to everything around you. The house, the car, your employment, your bank account, the rose bushes out front, the tires you put on the car. What did you pay for it with? This. So when you use this, you are using a fraction of nothing. So all the things that you bought, this lamp behind me, the chair I'm sitting in, the computer I'm talking on, was literally stolen. Now you did a transaction. You did a transaction, but what did you do it with? Fiat. Fractional. So I'm going to leave that alone. I want you to just look around your house. You don't even have to move. Just sit where you are and look around at all the items, the things, the physical products that are sitting in your face. All those things were bought on fiat. Now, let's move over here to Mr. Cryptocurrency. The whole reason it was created in the first place because some really smart people decided, hey, we're stealing things. We're paying for things with something that has zero worth. It is a fraction of nothing. And everybody's running for it. They're killed for it. You will lose your life over a piece of paper that has no worth. So now Mr. Cryptocurrency people said, you know what? Let's come up with an option. Notice the options. You have 5 options to use your wallet with debit card. Let's come up with an option for this fiat garbage. Let's come up with something that you and I agree on, that it has this or that value. And we make a trade, a fair trade for an object. Let's say now we go to the pen company and we say, Mr. Pen Company, I'd like to buy 3,000 pens and I have Bitcoin. Now, everybody and their grandma knows that Bitcoin has a price right now. It has a value. artificial, but it's there. Would you agree? Yes. Everybody knows that Bitcoin right now is 40 something $1,000 for one of them. One little coin, a digital coin at that, is worth 41,000 of these, which really doesn't have a value. Now, I'm going to bring up one country's name, and I'm going to show you how all this comes into play with these. The company or the country is Zimbabwe, Africa. Right now, Zimbabwe, Russia, and a few other countries have what's known as a digital coin that is what? Gold backed. Gold backed. That means the value of gold is backing that coin, not this. Not a fractional thing, but a real thing. Full circle. We're going back to what? The original money. So now if they have a digital coin that is now gold backed, guess what you can do? Put it on here. A crypto card, a crypto bank. Now, watch this. Full circle. If you have a gold coin, digital wise, and let's just say that the price of gold is $3,000 an ounce, and that somehow they tag the coin at a $3,000 value. Okay? It's going to cost $3,000 to get that coin. And you get one. Let's say you get one. And very shortly, you're going to see the next evolution of money. And it's called, you ready? Digital currency, quantum financial system. The coin in Zimbabwe is digital, which means that when they release Zimbabwe's finances, that digital coin that's gold backed is going to go through the ceiling. They might be $3,000 now. They're not going to stay there. Because when you go into the next evolution of money, it is backed by precious metals. Full circle. So if you happen to manage to get 6, 7 coin, and the price of that coin, because now that is what's backing money, silver and gold, let's say that that gold backed coin goes up to $130,000 each. Of course, these are just numbers, but you get my point. If a coin that does not have any backing or any value other than the demand has a price tag of 41,000 or 2, whatever it is, that has no physical backing of anything. The only thing that's making the number, that number, is the demand for it. The more people that want it, the higher the price goes. What do you think is going to happen when all money around the world is metal or asset backed. It will have a value of its own country. So whatever that country is producing, now watch this. And this is where a lot of people know, but refuse to admit it. Where does all the gold come from? Diamonds, metals, ores that we're using, even in these. Every cell phone has a specific metal in it that comes from Africa. What happens if everything is backed by gold? What country is going to be the richest country known to man? The very one that everyone else seems to hate. When the time comes, and it's really, really close, I'm telling you, it's really close. That's why we need to understand how to use these things. When the time comes and they say, okay, click, let's go. They're already the originator of BRICS. Did you know that? They originated it. BRICS gives a country the ability to back its money by what it produces. Basel III, Basel IV makes these guys have to say, all right, well, we have gold in our warehouse to back this. How do you have gold backing this if you don't have any? You gave it all away. You let one president give all the country's worth away for a fractional system. Now you have to have a document that says that this country is producing this, this, that, and the other, and we have this that's backing our paper. Excuse me, you gave everything away being greedy. All your industries are all over somewhere else. They're not here. We used to produce everything, a good portion of things that are around the world. But because they had to give some of this stuff that didn't even have a value. Oh, if I have to pay him $30 an hour to produce the dashboard on this car, but if I go to India or some over here, I only have to pay them $4. Well, let's go over there and get the dashboard made. We don't have to pay that much of this that means nothing, that has no value, a fraction of nothing. So you're going to give $4 to someone else in another country, and you've taken the job away from the ones that live in your country that you want to tax. You want to take some of this stuff away because you live here. But you took away the option and the ability to even get it. Now you want to sell me the product that you went across the water to have created for this enormous price. But you only paid $4 to get it done. You see how that works? That's the inflation of a zero-backed nothing paper. So the move and what you are learning now is here. This is where you're going to evolve to. Some sort of crypto, digital wallet, and bank. They work off the internet and electricity. So we need those two things. So you're kind of still stuck to them in a way because you have to have internet. You have to have electricity or solar. But somebody's got to create the solar panel. If this is worthless, how are they going to get paid? With a fraction of nothing again? when now you know that this is what's going on? No, they're going to have to start paying in this. And they have to leave the internet and the electricity on, or everything stops. They can't turn off the power and expect people to buy things when they create it, if you take away the ability to have it. So the evolution and the movement is digital and crypto. All right, so that's why we're doing these wallets. That's why we're learning how to use these wallets. A wallet is going to receive source. Your source could be retirement, it could be your job, it could be a promise delivered, Team Royal, it could be whatever you're doing, car washes, or whatever it is you're doing, there's a source generated and that comes to you. Now, is it coming to you in this? No, it is not. It's coming to you in this format. Okay? I don't know if you noticed or not, but even at the restaurant, because they got some where I'm working, they have what's called a handheld. It's a little thing that looks just like this, but you can stick a card in it. It's a cash register they can walk around with, basically. When you go to eat, you have your meal, you get everything done, you whip out your card. When they're ready, they type up everything on their little scanner, and you put the card beep, and you pay for your dinner. Now, did it say, Mr. Lewis, are you using Bitcoin or are you using BitPay? How's the transfer? No, they're not going to ask any of that. Why weren't they going to ask any of that? Because of those two things right there, a chip or a near field transmitter. Those two things allows a person to shop with just a tap. Okay? All four of these cards, 5, WireX, BitPay, BlockFi, Coinbase, and Cryto.com have a debit card that has those two items on it. A chip or near field transmission. It's basically on all the cards. That's digital. Okay? This stuff is phased out. This is done. This is done. This is over. Give it a couple more days. You'll see that what I'm saying to you right now, and those who are not listening already are going to be, wah! Get yourself oriented with the wallets. You have to know how they work. You have to know what you can do with them, what you can't do with them. So while you're relaxing or having a beautiful day, take a few minutes and go to these 5 different cards and start reading. I'm going to send out an email with the links, the ones that I can get. If you're already in the system, there's no need to worry about it. But if you're not, get a card off of that link, help us out. All right. Now, the next part of this is basically simple. We have to understand 2 things. One, we're going into this arena, whether you like it or not, whether you take the opportunity to learn how to use it or not. Whether you say, oh, I'm still going to have my paper. Yes, you will. They're going to come out with a new paper that is asset backed, just like the coin representation. It has to be asset backed. There is no more fiat, fractional, whatever it is. It has to be 100%. That's Basel III, Basel IV. That's why you see these banks raising all kind of saying about why do we have to do that when we've been doing fractional all of our existence? Because fractional is worthless, Mr. Banker. It's unfair trade. It creates inflation. It is not conducive to both parties, us receiving payments for things that we've created or those who are receiving it as an income. They're buying things without value. Purchase value. If you're using a piece of paper that has nothing backing it, you're stealing a product semi-legally because they allow us to do it. But like I said, when you get to the counter and they start that looking through the, putting it up to the light, now all of a sudden they're a currency scanner. I don't know about you, but I didn't get any of that upgrade. Are you now a cyborg? You can look at a piece of paper and see that it's real or not. If you're looking for the band that goes through it, you can make a band out of anything. I just get a kick out of it when every time I see somebody do that, I'm like, I just want to ask them, what exactly are you looking for? The whole thing is worthless. So how do you get around that part? And they wouldn't know because, most people, they're just told to do. Hold it up to the light and look for the strip that goes through all the way through. It's supposed to go all the way through. I know what they're looking for. That's how you decide whether the thing is real or not. A piece of something going through it. Or if it changes a certain color, if you write on it with a special marker. Who's to say the marker is counterfeit? This is how you gauge the validity of a piece of paper. That has to say a lot for the piece of paper. Can you do any of that with this? You either have it or you don't. If you put it on the wallet, you have it. Period. There's no holding it up to the light. When you put it up to the scanner, I gotta make sure I'm not showing my numbers. When you put it up to the scanner, it's either gonna beep or not. If you have enough on the account, when you put it up there, beep, transaction complete. Bag your stuff and go home. But they got you doing this at the register to see if it's real or not. Now that you know it's real, now what? After you've embarrassed me, like I'm passing off bad paper. So these 5 different wallets are going to have a debit card attached to it. So you'll be able to shop with your currency. The transaction is completed, exchange done, all that right when you stick it into the device or hold it up there and go beep. It makes all the transaction purchases and needs to move, whatever. It'll take off what needs to be taken off. The items are paid for within seconds. This process has even evolved because at one time you couldn't do that. You had to cash it out, sell it, then put what's left over into the bank, and the bank had to agree with what you were doing. One of all things, the banks don't want you to have this ability. Because the more proficient you come with this, the less you will need their services. And that's what they're afraid of. Why do you think so many banks have closed? They won't be needed. When you exchange your currencies and what have you, you get a brand new account. And some of you, still don't know about Real ID. What is Real ID? Why did you have to get it? That's your QFS account. You had the proof up, birth certificate, place of residence, 2 forms of ID to get that Real ID. They had to make sure you are who you are, because when they create that account, only you will be able to use it, not the banks, not Uncle Charlie, only you. So you need to know how to use these, because when you get those funds. You want to put them on here first, go shop and do what you need to do. Whatever's left goes on here. You are your own banker. There will be no more going into the teller and asking, can you use your own money? Think about that for a second. You're asking permission to use your own money every time you go in the bank. But they use it every night without your permission. Does that make sense? You have to ask permission to use your money that you deposited. But they don't. And they use it every night and make money every night and share nothing with you, because that's the document you signed when you got the account, unfortunately. So the source comes over to the wallet. The wallet has two functions. You're either going to shop with it or you're going to move it to your bank. Once you move it to the bank, it stays there until next year. Every year, you're going to do your own audit on your own bank. You're going to check it. How much is there? Is this still available or not? When you lose a coin for validity or for whatever reason, and let's say you have some of that coin in your bank, you have to sit on it and see if it comes back up or not. If it doesn't come back up, you have to get rid of it and stay on top of what you do have and what's still valid. Just know that when they switch over to the QFS, a lot of things are going to go away. And it could be some of those accounts, cryptos. Excuse me. So knowing how to use these things is important as much as it is what and how many options you have. So like I said, we have 5 options now. I will get to you guys as much as I can on them and then move forward. Now, the banks that are in question are really your choice. Whatever one you decide to get, you should have a copy of the how to set it up videos out of the 5 or 6 that I plan on getting. There's information on how to set them up. And of course, if it's not all the way set up properly, let me know. All right, excuse me, tired. So with that known, let's go ahead and take some questions. Any
No
questions?
problem. You
Yeah.
just said some of the crypto accounts will go away
Mm-hmm.
if once the QFS starts.
Mm-hmm.
You are you talking about the CBDCs or you talking about the
Yeah.
crypto account?
Some of these regular cryptos are going to go away. We won't know until it happens.
You're talking about the crypto coins, currencies are going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
You're not saying our actual account will go away.
No, the currencies are going to become
Oh,
invalid.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, we got probably over 28,000 cryptocurrencies, but by the end of this decade, we're going to have probably no more than 20 or less. As regulations
Yeah.
come, it's only going to be a handful that's going to survive. XRP obviously is going to be probably number one. I thought you were saying we're going to lose our wallets or something.
No,
That's
no,
why
no,
we
no.
keep okay.
Cryptocurrencies.
Got you.
Some
Yeah,
of them are going to disappear.
most of them are going to be. Believe me, most of them are. I
Right.
also
I
wanted to
can't
say,
prove that, so I just say I try
well,
to keep
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's the information I got. But I also want to say something that you said at the beginning of this call. You said something about the cynicism and the fallacy of these CBDCs. I put a video, I think it's less than 2 minutes, in my group last night, yesterday, where Trump said he gets back in office next year, he's going to completely do away with CBDCs. He said
Yeah.
he's going to make sure we don't have them because we don't need them, and he knows how bad they're going to be.
Yep.
So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Anyone else? Any other question? All
Hi,
right.
sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. So when you introduced that Glow app to us, we can use that too for Solana as well as Solana Pay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you're still working on your affiliate for the other for some of the other cards, or should we
Right.
just go ahead?
Yeah, just give me a chance to get them.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have them over the weekend.
Okay. Because I already have one from Cryto.com. I had that for a couple of years, so
Yeah,
but
like I said,
I'll wait for the other ones.
right. That's what I was saying. So you'll see a list. If you already have it, if you already have a wallet in there, you're good. Just skip to the next one. Um, that's what that's for.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm sure others have questions as well.
All right. Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment about Treasure Wallet.
Mhm.
Last week I told you I got a Treasure Wallet ordered, and on the site it says 2 to 4 shipping days. That's not true.
No,
Uh,
it's not.
Now I have a link. I could put it in the chat if you want me to, but it shows that if I ordered it the 28th, I would probably not likely see it until the end of February, first part of March. And I just want everybody else to be aware of that if you're going to get a treasure, you need to do it quick. Now you can buy at some local stores. The one I got was a Safe 3 treasure. The Treasure 1 and the Treasure T, if you have a Best Buy store around there, you can walk in there and purchase it right there. But the Treasure Safe 3 is the one that's, I guess you'd call back ordered. And I thought I'd bring that to your attention.
Yeah, the only thing that I have a problem with getting it from stores is you don't know who handled it. I'm pretty sure it's safe to do, but I just don't recommend it.
Yeah, the only one I can find is the Best Buy stores, and they're pretty reputable. But yeah, at the same time, check your seals and all that before you leave the
Right,
store.
right.
Thank
So
you.
yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that Trezor is 30 to 35 days. When I got mine, it was supposed to have been 26 days because they said it was backward. It turned out being a month and a half. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. I have a comment too, because I think part of it was all the issues going on with Ledger, that people rush into Trezor, and then there is some videos out there where a couple guys were saying if you did get a Trezor from a third party versus the actual company, to make sure you just factory reset it, and that just wipes it completely of all seed phrases, everything.
Okay.
And if I find that link, I'll look for that link and I'll send it to you, Matava, and you can check it out.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, send it on over. The more we share, the more we know.
Montalvo, this is CJ.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been totally confused from the beginning because I haven't gotten anything where I can pay the money. I've listened to the videos out there, but nothing has come across to me as to where I'm supposed to send, the $25 and the 175, the $200. And so I'm new to all of this and I'm studying the crypto. So can you please tell me where I'm supposed to send this? Or can you send me a link? I asked in the chat and she sent an email and those links did not work for me. So
Okay. All right. So first question, welcome. Next thing I would ask, who invited you to us?
you were on Sunshine's wellness call.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I'll take the blame on that one. I will get you the documents that you need. Do me a favor. I'm pretty sure Rhonda has it on her group chat that we're working on.
I do. I do, and I just bumped up the link to join the message if she'd like to.
Okay, so if you want to, if you're on her chat, which is, I'm on there too, so you can get that information right there. And then second, I'm still going to need your information because are you receiving the emails that I send out? CJ?
I was on mute.
Okay.
I am receiving emails, but I'm receiving emails in two different emails and I don't receive the same email. Like what Promise delivered last week, I received that one email, and then the other one, when you changed the kids corner, I received in another email. So
Okay. All right, so that means you're in there twice. I got to find out, see where you're at. The second thing is whatever email you want to use, you're obviously getting them.
and also a link that I think that Rhonda sent when I was able to get to that chat before, and they said submit your email, and I did, and so but I'm still getting two emails.
Yeah, so whatever one you submitted, and make sure you're getting the emails to that one. The other one, when you get an email from me the second time or the next time in the email that you don't want to get them, just unsubscribe.
Okay. And when you and I'm getting used to I'm getting better on this computer. When you said join her chat, I was just clicking the last time, and the chat popped up. So where do I go to join her chat, to join Wonder's chat? Like I'm looking at the screen now. So what do I do?
Can I jump in there, Montavo? If you'll go to the chat here on Zoom, you should see it. I just bumped it forward. It starts with an HTTPS and it ends with an OH/. If you click that, that will go to the messenger chat. And I also, for Montavo's purposes and the people here, I just copied and pasted the last three payment options he's given us to pay the $25 advance admin fee if anybody wants to, and that's there. So if you click that link that's right at the end of the Zoom chat, I'll be able to tell if you're already there because I don't have people go by initials here. And if not, I'll add you there.
Okay. I'm sitting in front of the computer. I don't see where you're saying go. I don't see chat.
If you go to the Zoom, where you're on Zoom right now, there should be a little icon that says chat down there. If you click chat, then you'll see the Zoom chat.
Or you may have to click on more to see.
Okay.
Chat.
Okay, there you go. I clicked on more and it popped up. So
okay, and then you see
chat.
Then you see that messenger chat. I put a link into it right up there.
Yes,
Yeah,
I see it
that,
now.
and then if you're not already in it, I'll add you there. Okay.
Okay. And I think I'm already in it. I'm gonna
I
send something.
I think you are already in it, but people go by initials here and I don't know until I see your name.
CJ, either Carolyn
Okay.
Williams. Yes. So let me respond.